Hey guys, it's Chandler Mack here and everything with the first edition of 2 Cents. So basically what this show is just, talking about, all things going on in the sports world. And obviously, this weekend is the Super Bowl and everything. So obviously we're going to talk about that. NFL honors going on tomorrow. And joining me is my sports inspiration, my father, James Mack, and everything. Dad, say hey to the public.
Hey, public.
Yeah, so first, we're just gonna kind of dive right into it. Discuss some of our MVP considerations, who we think is gonna win MVP. So, Dad, tell us, who you think is gonna win the MVP this season. You got Mahomes out there, you got Breeze, doing his thing and all that in New Orleans this season. Yeah, so who you think's got the nod this year?
Well, the easy pick would be Mahomes because he had such a great season this year and doing things that we haven't seen from a young quarterback in quite some time. So I really like what he's shown as far as his leadership, his ability, and just his all-around just mental capacity for the game. And being that it's just his first full season, It's really amazing what he's done. But, Russell Wilson in Seattle had a great season also, which is kind of underrated. He did well, but, when it comes down to it, it really was between Mahomes and Breeze. And what hurt Breeze, I think, was that after the Dallas game, if you remember in December, he had a rough game where I think they was held to maybe 10 points or something like that, and they lost to the Cowboys. And I think after that, Breeze's play considerably went down. Yeah. So, and Mahomes never really had a dry spell during the whole season. So I think in that case, I think you got to give it to Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. If you think about it, Mahomes, he lost Kareem Hunt, in the middle of the season and everything. And
didn't skip a beat.
Yeah, it's played he still continued to do his thing and all that. Breeze, he had that game against Dallas and he had a game against Tampa Bay. I think they won that game, but it was he kind of struggled. He just wasn't really himself.
Exactly.
And everything. Yeah, Mahomes, 50 touchdowns, man.
That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable for his first full season. So the sky's only the limit for him.
Sky's the limit. I low-key kind of wish we were seeing him in the Super Bowl on Sunday and everything, because that Monday night classic with the Rams, I know you're kind of old school, didn't really like that 54, 51 type game, but man.
Yeah, once it got over 40, it kind of got out of control for me. But nevertheless, it was still a great game. And I think the better team won that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mahomes, to me, standout MVP.
Exactly. Yeah. So we in agreement on that. All right. So now let's talk about offensive player of the year.
Okay.
Mahomes, if he doesn't get MVP, odds are he's probably going to get offensive player of the year. Right. Same thing with Breeze, but you got other guys in there. You got Todd Gurley in there. Hey, got our guy, Saquon Barkley in there and everything. So who do you think's going to win that?
Well, again, you got a lot of great candidates out there, and I'm more partial towards our guy. Saquon just had an awesome season for us, and he was a rookie. He was a true rookie. And considering what he was able to do behind our offensive line, it was outstanding what he did. And I'm really just think the best of him, and I think he's good a person as he is a player. So not only does his play transcends off the field, but what he does on the field is just totally amazing. So that's my guy there. But just to mention another guy, he had the wide receiver from New Orleans.
Michael Thomas.
Yes. Great season.
He did.
Great season. Underrated season.
Yeah,
not too many people know him.
You know who had an underrated season? DeAndre Hopkins. I've been saying it for the longest time. Everybody want to talk about Antonio Brown, OBJ, our guy. That's our guy. But, man, I'm saying, look at DeAndre, man. He ain't do nothing but had 94 catches for, over 1,000 yards yet again.
Absolutely.
And everything, so...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another underrated guy. Yeah, Hopkins had a great season also, and he definitely deserves mention.
Yeah.
But I'm going with
Air Saquon, as they say. Yeah. Yeah. But I like that. Obviously, I hope if Saquon doesn't get offensive player, I think he's definitely a lot for offensive rookie. Yeah. But honestly, for me, it's Drew Brees. If Brees or Mahomes don't get MVP, whichever one out of that. Just because, if you look at, the way the NFL honors goes, the way these awards go, usually that's kind of the way, it goes and everything. The guy who's second to be MVP is usually the guy who gets offensive player.
Exactly. Yeah, we've seen that before.
Exactly. So, yeah, and I think they want to give Brees something. That's kind of my logic. It's like, too good of the year not to get some type of award and everything. And, he's just, all around great guy. Like you said about Saquon, on and off the field, he was amazing.
Yes.
Class personified for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, just what we seen last week after the fiasco at the end of their playoff game against the Rams. In my opinion, I think he handled it better than the head coach.
He did.
Because the head coach and the owner. They was actually calling for taking legal action against the league.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. But Drew Brees, he just took it like a man and said, okay, well, we lost it, but, we should have played better. Exactly. And I think that's really the way you have to look at it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I got Brees, offensive player. I think Dad's got Saquon and everything. And
I have Saquon.
Yeah, he's got Saquon. Now, moving on to the defensive side of the ball, everyone kind of thinks this is a foregone conclusion. I mean, Aaron Donald had a ridiculous season this year and held out. Usually you don't see that. Usually you don't see a guy hold out, for more money during the offseason, come back and just be ridiculous. Well, I mean, literally.
It just shows a testament to the professional that he is, because exactly like you just said, usually when guys hold out, they'll come in out of shape, and they may even have to sit out a game or two to get in shape. But he came in, balled out from the start, and they really are going to need him. They're really going to need him on Sunday if they're going to win the game. But we'll get to that later.
Exactly.
But I like him as a defensive player of the year also, because he never let up. And the main thing is that he came in shape and he did what he had to do to help his team win the division.
He did.
And to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. But honorable mention, J.J. Watt came back. I did not know how he was going to come back, because I think he's missed 2 seasons or whatever, with injuries, various injuries. And it's like came back this year, almost had, I think if he didn't have 15 sacks, he came really close. You know what I'm saying? So, he had a really great year. I mean, I know he's won a plethora of Defensive Player of the Year awards and everything. But honorable mention
A true leader.
And a guy, NC State, South Carolina guy, Darius Leonard, linebacker with the Colts and everything.
Yes.
Definitely the guy who's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, because, man, he had over 150 tackles this year. Like I say, he was a second-round pick out of SC State. No one really thought,
State. That's right, the Bulldogs.
Yeah, no one really thought he was going to come out shining the way he did, but he did, man. I mean, it was like the game he played against us, it was like he was running stride for stride with a wide receiver on one play, man. I was like, dude.
And how often do you see that from a linebacker? Hardly ever.
Now, moving on to, we kind of agree, Offensive Rookie of the Year, definitely our guy Saquon. I mean, dude came in 2,000 all-purpose yards from scrimmage. I mean, a rookie against with that offensive
line. Suppose he played behind the Patriots' offensive line.
Yeah.
Might have had 3,000 yards rushing.
Exactly.
4,000 on purpose.
Who
knows?
I mean, for real, man. I mean, dude was just ridiculous.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, even his bad games, he still found a way to have some type of great play.
I'm so glad we drafted him, because I admit I didn't see much of his games in college, so I was a little, I wasn't really, too knowledgeable about his game, just from the highlights. It's basically what you see. But after seeing him pretty much week after week, and just watching his work ethic and his determination, I mean, this guy's the real deal. He's the real deal.
Baker from Cleveland and everything, he was #1 pick. He was the only guy, when the draft came out and everything, I was like, the only quarterback that I saw where I was like, okay, this is the guy where I might take over Saquon, was Baker. That was just because of just what he did in college, how, just must-see TV he was,
right.
And usually guys like that, and everybody wanted to compare him to Johnny Manziel, you remember.
Oh, yes.
But the difference for me, from him and Manziel was the fact that Manziel kind of came in. He was privileged in a way because it was like, he was a top recruit, all that, boom, boom, boom. Mayfield had to really work his way up.
He did.
His way up the ranks. I think he left Texas Tech, then went to Oklahoma as a walk-on, and just worked his way to being the Heisman Trophy winner. And that was like where I saw that. I was like, that's the difference. And he's bigger.
Yes.
He's bigger than Manziel.
Right.
And everything.
Right.
So that kind of, helped him too. He definitely deserves some recognition too.
He does.
Yeah, like he had a really, really good year. It kind of makes you think, like, I like Tyrod, but it's like, man, what if they would have started Baker from the jump? Maybe Lamar Jackson. Yeah, maybe Lamar Jackson and the Ravens might not have, made the playoffs or whatever.
You're right. And really what helped Jackson with Baltimore was that he was aided by a good running game and a solid defense. So he really didn't have to make a lot of plays for them, with all due respect. He had a great season also, but he was aided by a good supporting cast.
All right, so now we're going to dive into the big game, as Dad says, the Super Bowl and everything between the Rams and Patriots. So the last time these two teams met in the Super Bowl, Patriots ended up coming out on top 20-17 off of an Adam Vinatieri last-second field goal.
That's right.
And, so Dad, you think it's going to be a replica of that?
Well, it could be. It could be. I think it'll be more high scoring, only because the Rams are a more high-powered offense and the Patriots are on such an offensive roll right now. So I think it'll be higher than 20-17. I think the main key to the game for me is the Rams' defensive line against the Patriots' offensive line. Yeah. If the Rams, particularly Donald and Sue, can get to Brady, not so much sack him, but at least pressure him, hurry him, just make him uncomfortable in the pocket. If they can do that enough times in key situations in the game, I think that they'll have a good chance of winning the game. You have to make Brady uncomfortable. Going back to the Giants again, we did it twice in our Super Bowl victories against them. Yeah. And it wasn't so much that we outscored them or anything. We did, but in the end.
Barely.
But yes, just barely. But we put enough pressure on Brady to make him uncomfortable. And time has shown us that if you make Brady uncomfortable in the pocket, he will get rattled.
Personally, I think it's going to be tough for the Rams. They're going to have to, Todd Gurley, C.J. Anderson, they're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to find a way to keep the ball out of Tom Brady's hands.
Yes.
Because, it's been shown when we played them in the Super Bowl, we kept Tom Brady off the field as much as we could. We ran the ball. The first Super Bowl was 7-3 going into the fourth quarter and everything.
Right.
But the fact of the matter was that Tom Brady wasn't on the field like that. Absolutely. If you watch that game, you'll see Tom Brady, when he was on the field, he was getting pressured. And that's where Aaron Donald, Dominican Sue, and those boys, that's where they're going to have to come in. Yes. And that's where they're going to have to really try to get to Tom Brady if they want.
And the key to lead, he's going to have to make some plays also.
He is.
They're going to need him to make some plays because that's what they got him for, right?
That's
Paul Pierce. That's what they brought him there for.
Exactly. That's why he's here, right? That's why he's there. That's why he's in L.A.
This is their ninth Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And if they lose, they'll be 5-4.
5-4, yeah.
And for some reason, 6-3 just looks a lot better than 5-4.
That's a lot
so
better.
I really think that they really want this one pretty bad, and I think that they're going to do all they can to win this game, except cheat. I don't think they'll cheat this
They're
time.
not going to cheat. Kind of hard cheating the Super Bowl these days with all the cameras, man. Oh,
right.
Man. But so now, predictions. You think Patriots gonna come out on top in this one?
I do think the Patriots are gonna come out on top. I think Brady's obviously on a mission, determined, and I don't see anything getting in their way, except for, like we said, if the defensive line of the Rams show up. And I just think that he's in a place right now where he knows that he really needs this one for his legacy. I don't think he will be able to live with himself if he loses 2 Super Bowls in a row. And like I said, 6-3 just sounds so much better than 5-4. And the same for Belichick also. Belichick, he knows. I think they know they gave one away last year. With all due respect to the Eagles, they did what they had to do. But I think under normal circumstances, the Patriots would have won that game last year also. So I think it'll be close in the first half. But I think the Patriots will pull away from them probably midway through the third. And I'm looking at maybe 31-27 21 game for the Patriots. I could see that.
10-point game?
I could see that.
Oh,
I think the Rams could score, obviously, but the Patriots don't beat themselves. So if they play their normal Patriot game where they don't turn the ball over, I mean, the Rams are going to have to do everything on offense, and I just think that the Patriots will do enough to win.
I got you. I got the Patriots too. Not as, one-sided as you got with 31-21, but I do got them scoring 31 points. I think it's going to be a 31-27 game, 31-27 Patriot victory, just because, like you said, Tom Brady, don't see that man losing 2 straight Super Bowls. Don't see Bill Belichick losing 2 straight Super Bowls. But I do think the Rams are going to show up. And I do think that Todd Gurley, C.J. Anderson, I think they're going to try to play ball control with the Patriots and try to keep the ball out of Tom Brady's hands. But ultimately, I'm looking at Tom Brady versus that Rams secondary, and that Rams secondary has been a little suspect this season. And I'm saying even though he's throwing the ball to Chris Hogan, Julian Edelman, and Rob Gronkowski, for some reason those guys just find a way to get open. And that key points in the ball game. And that's it.
And for some reason, Hogan is not a name that's been mentioned too much during these playoffs. So usually those are the guys that come through for them when you don't expect it. So
James White's type.
Exactly. So, I mean, I'm not predicting a big game for Hogan, but don't be surprised if he does have a big one.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're looking at another MVP for Mr. Brady?
I think so. I don't know who else is going to win it. I mean, maybe Gronk. A lot of people are saying that, this might be Gronk's last game and everything. I hope it's not, because I think the NFL needs him.
They do.
Just because he's such a great guy, such a great competitor.
Right.
He's battled through so much. He's fun.
He is.
The type of guy that you want to go out and,
pound a few beers with.
Yeah, exactly.
Just tell a bunch of jokes. And yeah, he does. He seems like a great guy and a real fun guy to be around. And, I mean, you don't hear anybody say anything bad about him.
Exactly.
Not even Belichick.
Not even Belichick.
That's hard to do.
Dad, who you got for the MVP?
Well, I think if the Rams happen to win the game, I think it's going to be someone on that defensive line like we talked about earlier, either Sue or Aaron Donald. And I think it'll probably go to Donald because I think he'll have more of an impact on the game than Sue. So if the Rams win, I'll go with Aaron Donald. And if the Patriots win, I think Brady got enough trophies in his trophy case. So in that case, I'll go with Sony Michel because he could break off an 80, 90-yard run and just set the tone for the game. And I think an impact play like that might just get him the MVP.
It might. So fun trivia about Sony Michel. I don't know if you remember this. We Gamecocks in this house and everything.
That's right. That's right.
Played the Georgia Bulldogs quite a few times. So you knew Todd Gurley was in the backfield, right?
Oh, yeah.
Starting running back, and then who was his backup? Sony
Michel, that's right.
It was like when we were watching back in the day, I was like, that guy's going to be playing on Sundays too. Just watch out. And now he is playing with, arguably the greatest quarterback of all time.
In the perfect situation for his style of play. So it's a great marriage for him and for the Patriots.
All right, guys, and that wraps up this first edition of 2 Cents. And if you would like to share your 2 cents with us, be sure to tweet me at Chandler D. Mack and my dad
at WMS Mack
to share your 2 cents with us. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see y'all soon.